We're streaming.
Bang, bang, bang. HMO live stream, episode 10. Welcome all
From all walks of life.
from all walks of life. Every single one.
Hello.
Me and Brooks report from the same IP address. You
So,
already know, baby.
so you have an upcoming interview, right? That'll be premiering when?
So we're gonna be premiering a new interview on Tuesday, 1 week from today. It's going to be with Frankie Stees, the musician slash barber out of Silver Spring, Maryland. He is enjoying a good amount of success from his recent EP. He's been making some buzz in the area, and I was telling him during our podcast today, this guy got the barber game on lock in this area too. So he got a lot of good stuff going on. We love to talk sports too. A lot of barbershop banter. You already know how it is when you go to get your hair cut. So shout out to Frankie Steves. Be on the lookout. Saturday we'll drop a little preview for you guys.
All right.
Me and
Yeah, we're
Brooke
waiting
were
for more people to trickle in here. Um, so what are you guys doing this weekend? This Thanksgiving weekend? You guys gonna do any Black Friday shopping? Cyber
no.
Monday?
No more money. I'm trying to save up.
Yeah, bro. I need to save up myself.
All
Mm.
investments now. Investments and savings from now on. At least for like the next like couple of weeks. What about you guys? What y'all got planned for this weekend? We're supposed to link up, right?
Yeah, we're throwing a
Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, hey, and it's a small gathering. Chill, chill, chill. It's not a big gathering. Please relax. So we're taking it. Uh, uh, our precautions, I guess you could say. So chilling.
Precautions.
Don't cook us.
Please.
Why would they cook us? It's not. It's
They
none of their
cook.
business.
Will cry. I will cry. Please don't cook us.
There's gonna be a fleet of of the state of the feds just breaking into like the house because we have too many people.
It's gonna be a fleet of drones.
Never know.
Scared to us.
You never know who's on this live stream. Which one of you fucking snitch ass motherfuckers? It's like, nah. What's going on, live chat? What's going on, guys? I love you guys.
You saw that
Yo,
meme rule, right? Like of like it's like when you have if you have too many people at your house for Thanksgiving and it shows like the FBI breaking in with like their guns and shit.
hell no, man. Keep it safe. You know what? Giant took a L. I think it was Giant, right? Where they put a advertisement that said, "Are you planning a gathering this year? How about a super spread?" And then people were like, "Wow, why are you guys encouraging big meetups? Come on!" And Giant's like this big company, and people are mad that they're promoting these big gatherings so they can make money. And I was just like, "Damn." Giants PR team took an L there. They could have worded that differently. But no, they just want everyone to get the Rona.
People are just hyper exaggerating this whole situation.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point, man, if it was like, I'm not saying that Rona's fake, but I definitely think that it's been blown way out of proportion and probably for some type of monetary gain somewhere or another. But that's just me. That's
Hey,
my opinion.
that's what we were talking about in my live stream at Frank Analysis. We went deep into like some documents and then some evidence to really speculate on that. But I mean, this is in the family of like the cold and the flu. So how do we treat that? There's not like a vaccine that'll cure the flu or the cold, right? We live with it.
Yeah, I just don't want anybody thinking that like if they get like you start sneezing and shit, like sneeze more than once in a day, then you automatically have coronavirus. Like I think that we need to
Sneezing
be
isn't even like a symptom. It's coughing. But yeah, everybody thinks you have the Rona like when you sneeze or cough though.
yeah, you can't cough.
Corona.
Yeah, shout out to Mona Carmona. She's a fan from Frank Analysis. He's also on the Discord. Thank you so much for showing up.
Yo, Brooks, where you at? What city you at?
I'm in the city of Pedro's house.
What city is that? Is that Philadelphia back there? My man,
Yeah,
Brooks, Philly, chilling, living it up.
I love it, man.
He's at the same IP address as me. He's just in the other room.
Trying to echo.
When he was
We
in
got
the
a
same
social.
room, there was a really big echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna work. Yo, shout out to Sagas, however you say it. It's Preston and them, Preston, James, Fishman James, Peasy. Shout out to them. You know they doing their thing. And Brooks is wearing Frankie Steve's the.
He's hoodie.
Oh damn, it's going straight to Philly. But you know we'll drop a preview soon enough, and you guys will see exactly how it looks like.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to everybody.
Ryan.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Who are the other guys, Franco? The other guys, I'm Dro. This is Brooks, BT. We are the co-founders of Hear Me Out podcast. And 2020, we all linked up together to join forces and become like the Golden State Warriors of podcasts. So
Yes, sir.
we're killing it in 2020.
Yeah, they're also friends from my neighborhood, or I guess my city. Like, I've known Pedro for 10 years. Brooks is around our city too, but I've just been starting to get to know him more and more. In 2020, we got really close. And I gave them a little dose of awakening, of political awakening in the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. You can definitely say that. Hey, you know what? It's been an interesting year learning the stuff that I've learned and getting into the conversations, debates, arguments even that we've gotten into. All this stuff is so new but very interesting to me. Like I tend to like go into like a rabbit hole when we have some of these conversations where I look into one thing that leads me into another thing, leads me into another thing, and it's like a never-ending cycle of like looking at different sources and whatnot.
Nah, for real. Oh my
So
gosh.
what's different now? How do you see the world different now after learning more about what's been going on with our politics?
Shit. Well, I mean, one thing that I can say for sure is that it confirms what I already knew, is that politicians are fucking dishonest like 90% of the time. That it's everybody says politics is a dirty game. You know what I mean? That's definitely confirmed based off a lot of the stuff that I've learned this year. Learned that it's a lot more to it than we ever will expect or know. I think if not most, all of the time, there's going to be stuff that we will know now or maybe even ever. There's so much information that the government is withholding from us.
Yeah, I would say it's more like I thought before that war was bad and that we need to stick our noses out of other people's business, but now it's like even more that I'm aware of. And then I was thinking that politicians were corrupt, but not because it was because of like corporations and all that. And now I'm aware of that, and it's like what what's his name was saying, the
Kit
famous black
Cabello?
poet, huh?
Kit Cabello?
Not Kid Cabello, no. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he was always saying when you're conscious, that leads to basically like a lot of anger, and I'm definitely like raising that and becoming even angrier about certain things that like Obama did and all these other people did, and I probably wouldn't have gotten to this level if it weren't for this year alone and being able to like really deep dive into things, and then Franco putting us onto a lot of stuff that we weren't aware of before.
Look, I will say one thing though. One thing that I feel like Franco and I like we can't agree on for some reason is save changes to Frankie Steve's interview. Yes, of course I'd like to save the changes to that. They're over here trying to give me 1 second, make sure that this file saves. My computer's trying to bam out on me. What's up with that? What's up with that? I don't like that at all. But look, so one thing that Franco and we seem to not agree on is the fact that let's not say fact, right? Because this would contradict what I'm about to say. The idea that politics is subjective. You know what I mean? I say this all the time that politics is subjective, but Franco, you tend to tell me that well, I don't know if you say it's not, but you seem in your rebuttals to me saying that like you disagree with that. Would you disagree or agree with the idea that politics is subjective?
No, the thing about it is like not the way people perceive politics for the most part is subjective, but if we look at politics through an objective lens, if we look at it in a third person point of view, like if you imagine yourself being this like entity that's just like observing humans and just watches everything without judgment, people will start to agree with each other on a lot more issues than they think. The more objective that you try to be, the more that you will unite with people and find agreements with them. But if you are manipulated and controlled by your biases that you don't notice, the biases that you're unaware of, we're going to keep having this divide in this country. And a lot of people need to start waking up to that. Otherwise, we're not going to get a government that's truly representative of the people, and it might be too late with the destruction of either nuclear warfare or climate change. Yeah, definitely read Management of Savagery that Mona Carmona pointed out to. The very first people I interviewed for HMO was Medea Benjamin and Anya Parampil. Anya Parampil is Max Blumenthal's newly wedded wife. And I had the pleasure of meeting Max Blumenthal and Anya Parampil in January when I went to a protest in DC. And Max Blumenthal signed my book, The Management of Savagery, that he wrote.
Oh, you actually seen him there?
Yeah, he was there. I didn't get the chance to interview him though, but I interviewed Anya.
See that? I remember that. Nice. Yeah, man. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the whole, no, but so what we were saying, like, do you see why I say that though? Like why I say that politics is subjective or that it can be very subjective? Like a lot.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like people are very stuck by looking at it subjectively, but we need to start looking at it more objectively.
Because there's always going to be arguments that are more catered towards one side all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's things that we want to believe. There's things that are proof, fact, you know what I mean? And then there's other things we don't want to believe. And I feel like the factual part of it is missing, you know what I mean? A lot of the times where it's like for neither side, like let's say if there's one person saying one thing, another person saying another thing, and there's like one fact to back it up. Like it's going to be both sides fighting for that one fact along with a bunch of different personal biases, you know what I mean? Like
they're holding on to something that they want to be true rather than seeing things for how they are.
Exactly. It happens on both sides of any type of debate, conversation, you know, viewpoints, stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I mean, maybe, you know, somewhere along the line we'll be blessed. Maybe it'll be maybe it'll be Hear Me Out podcast. We'll be the ones to break the mold with more groundbreaking facts. But you know what I mean, nowadays,
hey man, that's the goal here, because you guys are great analysts when it comes to sports and pop culture, and I came on to help open people's eyes about politics and try to be a gateway for them into finding out more truths about what's happening in our politics. And one of those truths is that both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, are bought out by the same people. They serve the same people because they receive more money from the corporations, from the lobbyists. That's who they're going to serve first. That's their priority. They're number one, and then the people are number two. We're a distant second. And it's really sad. And I mean, we had all these warmongers on Trump's cabinet. They were all disgusting people. Trump is a disgusting person. And now we have Joe Biden, who played a key role in creating the system that we have that led to the anger of many people voting for Donald Trump in 2016. He's now most likely going to be our president, and he's installing people who are just as disgusting as the last administration, and probably even more dangerous because they present themselves as these like really nice people, but they're still in it for imperialism. They're still in it for war. They're still in it for serving the corporations, which are going to oppress us, the working class people, and people that look like us in other countries who are also working class people.
Politics always attracts the worst people,
Or it changes them.
or it changes them.
You either live long enough to die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
I think it's hard these days to find, like a good a good objective, I mean, anything, I mean, like fucking when we talk sports, when we talk pop culture, we talk anything. It's hard these days to find, I mean, like solid objective stances on it, but politics more than anything, because there's a lot of ways you can all right, you have this fact, I'm gonna discredit it with this, or you have that, or I'm gonna back it up with this, and it could really go either way, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you just have to look at who is presenting the most amount of information. Like, for example, you can say, oh, like Biden's cabinet is better than Trump's cabinet. That would be something subjective to say, but objectively, the best thing to say is that they're serving the same people. A lot of them have the same goals. Like, that's an objective thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, see that, and I agree with that. All these politicians got the same exact thing in mind, and that is protect the businesses and protect their own asses before the American people. I agree with that 100%. It's all. What you say?
I think that was an echo, bro.
Oh shit, was that my own echo?
I think you're hearing yourself from my computer.
Oh, no. All right, so yeah, nah, I agree. Nah, dude, we are not, the American people are not the first priority of any politician. Not Joe Biden, not Trump, not Kanye West. Nobody.
Kanye West. All right, look, here's the thing about Kanye West and Donald Trump, though. They weren't in the political game to begin with.
Yeah.
So what they were celebrities first and foremost.
Yeah.
So they're in it to serve themselves. These other politicians are in it to serve their donors and the establishment.
So now that Trump has been there and done that, right? Are we going to see more people that come from non-political backgrounds running for presidency, running to be the president and winning and actually being the president? Do you guys see something like a situation like that happening again in the future?
What do you think, Brooks?
I think so. I mean, you already saw with Kanye West, right? He saw Donald Trump coming. He's like, oh, this guy's a freaking idiot, and I'm a musical genius. I might as well try to go win. I'm just a celebrity as he is. And he got what, like 60,000 votes or something like that. He's probably got a big enough ego to think, if I run in 2020 or 2024, I can definitely beat Trump, or I can definitely beat whoever's in the Republican nominee, right?
Right.
And that's and you could say the same for like The Rock said he might run in 2020 or like 2024. And the dude's like one of the biggest wrestlers ever, one of the biggest movie stars ever. He can definitely do something. Like, yeah, actors, Hollywood people, Twitter celeb. I could see like a Twitter celeb thinking he or she could run for presidency. Like,
how far will they make it though? The thing is, like, Donald Trump understands the system better than Kanye West. I don't think Kanye West could have made it that far because the powerful people that actually run the country, like our intelligence community and the lobbyists, they want somebody who's competent. And that's why I've been saying that they prefer Joe Biden, because he is the more competent actor than Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an idiot. He would easily expose the truths about what our country is actually doing. I reported, and I think I told you guys about how he was like honest with people about how we were like taking oil from Syria and how we were securing the oil. No, George Bush and like Obama would never say that. They'd
No,
never
you said
say that.
I
They
remember
would
that.
create a good enough excuse for why we go into all these
Mike Pence
countries.
is a better actor than Donald Trump, man. Mike
Huh?
Pence knows how to do the whole political gig. He knows how to talk and
Yeah, but
have the
he lacks charisma though, so he's less likely to win an election.
Which
dude.
is why
All
Kanye
guys
West
got
was such a
charisma.
big
They're fucking
candidate.
like 80 years old. They're like 85 goddamn years old, man. Like they're too old.
Mona
Let's have
Carmona said at least Kanye West isn't a war criminal.
Yeah, but I feel like he's the type of person that would listen to what
He
the
would listen to them,
so
yeah.
what the party would say, and then be like, "All right, let's go do that. Fuck it, let's go bomb."
He would be like, they
Like,
know what they're doing, and I'm just gonna do it. And he's gonna put so many. He would put so many like Christian like nationalists on his team, seeing as how the direction that he wanted to go. Like, remember he was saying that he like we should all pray to make the coronavirus go away, and that like he was saying all these like crazy Christian stuff.
stop
No
testing.
offense to like Christianity. Like I know, like there's a lot of good Christians. I grew up a Christian myself, but there are some that just take it overboard and let it dictate the way that they implement their policies in a way that doesn't benefit all people.
yeah,
And so The Rock is a neo-lib. Does that mean that he won't be a good candidate for president?
No, he'll continue the corporate system that we have.
Oh hell yeah, he's part of corporate America. You already know. Anybody, any one of these celebrities would do. That's why you see people like Lil Pump and like 50 Cent endorsing Donald Trump because they all got the same shit in mind.
or they're represented by the same agents, same
The talent
agencies.
agencies, yeah, and the talent agencies are also connected by our intelligence community.
But you can. I don't know if you can ever say that about Rich Paul and LeBron James's agency, but you never
Yeah.
know. I think LeBron James used to be a candidate or a client of CAA, so he might be the same
Hey,
way.
he's represented by the same people that represent a lot of these politicians, and he was
Yeah.
good friends with Barack Obama.
And I love LeBron, so I'm not even gonna. I don't even want to
Hey
change.
man, just
I think
like
it's LeBron
you
James.
can love him for sports and like what he does as a person, but when it comes to like what would be best for the country, like who you should listen to, that's not somebody to look for advice for that. If you know what I mean, like you can love him like aside from what his political beliefs are.
Shout out to LeBron, greatest basketball player of all time in my eyes. Opens up schools, helps out a lot of people, but politics, nah, don't have to listen to him.
Hey man, the thing about LeBron is that LeBron is gonna say whatever is best for the business, man. And I truly believe this when I say this. I think LeBron James, the most important thing to LeBron James is LeBron James Inc. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he
He is a
cares about
brand.
issues.
He is
Yes,
the
he
brand.
cares about the world, and he does wonderful things for a lot of people often. But LeBron James, let's be honest, he cares mostly, if not, he cares more than anything else in this life. He cares mostly about LeBron James Incorporated. And that's not a knock on anything else or saying that he dislikes anything or that he hates certain things. No, he just values his own interests. And I think that we'd be playing ourselves if we thought anything differently than that.
Yeah, it's like
Say what status quo is going to be.
what they were saying in that athletic
It's
article, right?
not a knock on LeBron at all.
Yeah, there's. I mean, someone was saying in the athletic, like, yeah, the dude has such a manicured image, and he's always trying to make himself look like the best he possibly can. I think your boy Nico House was talking about, yeah, LeBron James just seems like a very. This is like me paraphrasing, but him just saying like, oh yeah, he doesn't seem like the most genuine person. Just always like putting on a different image than he maybe truly is. So
Can you think? Do you think that LeBron James is a chameleon? Do you know what I
How-
mean by that?
Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
like he kind of just like he'll blend in with whatever is convenient at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Blend in really well with the environment. Blend in with whoever's in the crowd around him.
At times, it depends on the environment, dude. Like if he's at like a Hillary Clinton rally, then hell yeah. I mean, but if he's in an NBA presser, he's gonna be himself.
So he's
Like when
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. He'll be
I
his
think- yeah, I
truer
guess, like,
self
that-
around his NBA friends and the
Look,
NBA
when-
community.
when LeBron is at work and he punches in his ticket to go to work, he is a brilliant worker. He's a smart worker. LeBron is the kind of guy who works smart and not hard, but he also works hard. But as soon as it comes to anything else, like politically, specifically, he's going to go with whatever it is, like, that would be best for his business. If he were to come out and say, I like Trump because A, B, and C, LeBron's going to get shit on by everyone.
And he knows it.
And LeBron has, I give LeBron this. Trump talks shit about LeBron all the time. So he has the right to have that personal vendetta there because Trump has name dropped LeBron. So I give him that. But my point is, LeBron is going to say what's best for LeBron Inc. because that is what's most important to him. Not saying he doesn't care about anything else, but that is his main objective, main goal. LeBron James Incorporated.
So Jay White writes, the media will blackball and not going to give any outsiders a platform, and doesn't matter how well known they are. What do you guys think about that?
If they learned their lesson from Donald Trump and how they basically plastered everything he said, then yeah, they would have learned that lesson. But you never know because they're still trying to fearmonger us into thinking that he was gonna steal the election again. So it's very possible.
What do you guys think about this? So Donald Trump, he ran on wanting to end the wars. Obviously, he didn't do that. He continued them. He even dropped more bombs on the same countries we were in. So yeah, even though he didn't start any new wars, he increased the amount of drones that we were bombing on other countries. But just recently, he was trying to fulfill some of his promises, one of which was pulling all our troops out of Afghanistan, which he said was a waste of time when he was running for president in 2016. And now he wasn't able to accomplish all of that. He was only able to pull out like half of them, which is not anything really because Joe Biden can just put them back in there. And now we have CNN and the New York Times and all these mainstream liberal outlets saying that what Trump is doing is irresponsible. There's some politicians that are saying we want our troops back home safely, not in body bags, which makes absolutely no sense if he's trying to pull them out of Afghanistan now safely. They're coming home safely. They're not coming home in body bags, so that doesn't make any sense. It's just this. It just goes to show, like what I mentioned earlier, the mainstream media, all these talent agencies, they're all tied with our intelligence community. They're all tied with the military-industrial complex. Their agenda is to profit off of war. And Donald Trump was not in that political community. He was there to serve himself. And maybe he was genuine about pulling our troops out of these wars. But this reminds me of how President Eisenhower, he said, don't underestimate the power of the military-industrial complex and how much they can put an influence even on the president. And how Chuck Schumer, who's a Democrat, he's the senator of New York, he said the intelligence community has 6 ways to Sunday to F you over. And that's what they've been doing to Donald Trump. So what do you guys think about that?
I don't believe nothing that comes out of Trump's mouth. I don't think he was genuine about shit, but what matters is
he was more honest about the war though than these other politicians. Don't forget that clip I showed you, Pedro, of Donald Trump calling out Jeb Bush for his brother and lying to us about going to Iraq.
Yeah, and he totally bitched them too.
Yeah, but I mean, still, even then, like that doesn't make Trump credible to me. I mean, like,
right?
He's
but look.
Times, told two truths.
He lies for himself, but these politicians lie for the status quo and the establishment. And look, he was trying to pull troops out.
Same personal self-gain. They're all fighting for the same thing.
What do you think about how he was trying to pull troops out, though, and then all these people were criticizing him for that?
So did he or did he not?
He was able to pull some troops out.
Yeah, he didn't pull all of them.
How much? Like, how many troops was he able to pull out?
I don't know the exact number, but it was a lot, but it's not enough at all. And I think it might be because of the pressure that he gets from the military-industrial complex.
I mean, this is supposed to be like the most macho guy, right? QAnon thinks
Yeah.
he's a savior of everybody. He should just have the balls to just out, but maybe he's scared. Maybe he thinks something bad could happen to him if he were to do
So
that.
Donald
Uh,
Trump has brought uh, the U.S. military spending since Trump has entered the office went up a little bit. It went up by like 2 million.
Yeah, it did go up by more than what he asked, by the way. And the Democrats voted for it. So
mhm.
So
Mona said,
Trump brought home about 246, about 800,000 troops he's brought home, and
800,000?
I don't know if the U.S. troops overseas, the number is going down. Trump enters White House, it goes down. Yeah, it looks like about like 800,000, like anywhere from 650 to 800,000 is looking like he brought home. The reduction of
But
troops
that's
much greater.
like throughout his whole presidency, though, right? Not recently.
Yeah, throughout his whole presidency.
Oh,
So
okay.
it says Obama brought home more troops. That's why he was in office longer. But it looked like his numbers were higher up than Trump's by like a good amount there. But he did bring a slight number home. I don't know exactly how many troops are out there, but I know it's millions. So I mean, it could have definitely been a little bit better for all that talk that he was talking.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, he ran a campaign saying he's going to save jobs. He's going to put infrastructure on the main thing, and then pull troops out. And I don't think he was able to really deliver on anything. Like, he ended up losing more jobs overseas. Like, I think it was like 90,000 jobs overseas, and people don't want to hear that. People don't want to see that. And then you don't pull out the troops, but then you pull out like almost a million. I mean, it's just crazy.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Go to sleep.
Obama started more wars than George Bush. Pretty much like the same group of people are going to be under Joe Biden's administration. Do you think that Joe Biden is going to start any new wars?
Well, I'm sure he will. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm no future fortune teller. I don't have the eight
But
ball
let's
to say.
speculate. Let's
But
speculate. So let me tell you about some of his cabinet picks.
all these motherfuckers, I'm sure all these motherfuckers are ready to go start wars overseas, man. I would not be surprised if Joe. But to answer your question, would I be surprised if he started a war, or like started multiple wars, or put like our country overseas to go fight? No, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
All right.
Especially,
So
He's never seen a war he doesn't like.
Joe Biden, yeah, that's true. Never seen a war he doesn't like. He has John Kerry, who served as Secretary of State under Barack Obama's administration before Hillary Clinton was there. And John Kerry, he voted for the Iraq War. And that's why he sucked at debating George Bush, because he couldn't use that against George Bush because he was for that same war that he started. He played a key role in several acts of imperialism under the Barack Obama administration. He helped start a lot of wars. And he has him on the special presidential envoy for climate. Um,
what is
this
that
guy,
job?
he's not a good choice on the climate if he's a corporatist. You can't be pro environment and pro corporate at the same time. Those two don't go together.
So what does that job entail?
That job entails like being like a leader on like what we should do in terms of climate, and like how we engage with other countries for approaches with the climate. But again, he's a pro corporatist. His main goal is to serve his donors, the corporations, and their main goal is to overexploit as much resources as possible so that they can make more profit. And so we're going to be obtaining all these resources and destroying the environment as these corporatists profit.
Yeah.
And we have Anthony Blinken. So the Convo Couch had a video earlier, yesterday, that I watched in their live stream. And this guy, Um, they were showing articles about how this guy was pushing Donald Trump to, and also Barack Obama, to arm troops in Ukraine who were literally neo-Nazis. Like, that term is thrown around a lot in the US to talk about like racist white supremacists, but in Ukraine they actually have troops that actually practice Nazism. And he was pressuring, this guy Anthony Blinken was pressuring Trump and Obama to arm these troops on Russia's border to escalate tensions. And then this guy had the nerve to go on Sesame Street to sound like this like really nice guy, talk about like refugees, like to Grover, and they're just like, this is what makes these people so dangerous, is that they present themselves as these nice guys. It makes people think that everything is okay, even though things are going to continually to get worse around the world.
That's it. Everyone, like I said, everyone politician-wise is playing for the same team, and that's Team I. You know, them, not me, but Team.
Yeah,
them.
but one group of people is honest about that, and another group of people, they pretend to be your friend.
Who's honest?
Republicans.
The Republicans, they tell you straight up that they're not gonna like give you a Medicare for all. They're not gonna like do all these things for you that are gonna benefit your life. They tell you straight up that they're not for like free college or any of these things. Whereas the Democrats are like, oh, we're trying to work for these things too, but we'll do it slowly, okay? We'll do it slowly. I don't want to go to these wars either, but I mean, we have to be realistic about it.
Why do you say we're bugging?
So what about what about all the promises Trump didn't deliver on? What about all the promises Bush didn't deliver on? Shit, go back to the last Republican president. There's been hella super, like many instances of dishonesty with both parties. You know what?
Yeah, but look, George,
what makes the Republicans more honest than Democrats? I'm not saying that the Democrats are more. I'm saying
they're both liars, but you know one is you know that one is more of a liar, right? You know that George Bush and Trump are liars. Would you say the same thing about Barack Obama and Joe Biden?
Liar? Well, he didn't deliver on certain things. So, I mean, over time it became apparent that he was lying about certain things. It's like every other
but some people still believe that the Obamas are these like great people. There's still a lot of Obama worshippers out there, and they think that they're genuine about their actions.
Look, they've done good things. I don't know. I mean, I don't know them to say if they're good people, but I'm just saying I can't sit here and like if you can tell me like give me a list of examples here of times that the Republicans and times that really mattered were really honest, like for things that had to do with like healthcare, things that had to do with like things that really mattered and helped a lot of people. When were they truly
in terms of helping people? They're not honest. They're not honest about helping people. They're honest about not helping people. The Democrats act like they're helping people, but they're not helping them.
So wouldn't that be? I'll just say, even some people love Obama. I mean, yeah. Look, Obama, I think, is more loved for, you know, his pop culture status than like his actual. Am I lagging?
So that might be my end. How's the stream going? Is it slow or is it good?
Stream's laggy a little bit. Yeah, it looks like stream's laggy a little bit. It's all good. We're still here. HMO live stream episode 10. Appreciate everybody in the chat so far.
It should be fixed soon.
Nah, definitely.
It'll pick. Somebody said you're reading off of somebody's chat comment.
Yeah, it was Mona Carmona. Great podcast, Franco. See you later, guys. Thanks for pulling up to the stream. Appreciate you. But yeah, no, look, dude. I just think the way you're saying the Republicans are more honest is like as if it's like a plus, like that they are honest on some like they're
it's not
honest.
The thing is, there's more transparency with how dangerous they are. Like, who's more dangerous? Somebody who you know is your enemy or somebody who's pretending to be your friend?
See, if you put it that way, that makes more sense. But I thought you meant it in a way where it's like they're honest, like to us.
No, they're
like,
honest about not helping you. They're honest about how they're your enemy.
Yeah, they're more blatant in they're more blatant in their disrespect towards the people, I guess you could say, or lack of care for the people.
Yeah. Yeah, whereas the Democrats, they pretend like they're actually helping people, like they're this like resistance,
I
and
seen this
that the Republicans are the monsters, but really it's both of them that are the monsters.
I seen this picture where it was like a jet and it was like Republicans and they're dropping
Yeah,
bombs. And then Democrat, it has like Black Lives Matter, a little LGBTQ flag, fucking and then they had like little sparkles coming out of their bombs and whatnot. That's funny, and
let's
I think that is pretty accurate because the Democrats have been dropping the ball so badly in the last decade, and I agree
in
because
the last
like,
like 50 plus years,
but more so in the last recent couple of years, like they've been dropping the
both
ball.
parties.
So, I agree. I agree that the Democrats do try to act like they give more of a fuck than the Republicans do, and really we know that they don't. Neither side deserves that much credit, which is why when we see a good candidate or any type of good politician, we need to and really actually good politicians, we got to get behind them. You know what I mean? But it's rare. They're
No,
rare.
I mean it. In the end, it's like I say, you have to rely on yourself. Because look at Bernie Sanders. In the end, he bent over, and then he was advocating for us to vote for somebody that he's supposed to be fighting against, like Joe Biden. Um,
But
it's
yeah,
truly sad. It's truly that's who we were hoping he would fight against. Instead, he's like, oh, he's my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. He could beat Trump. Donald Trump is the most dangerous person ever. As if Joe Biden's not dangerous. If you change the label from Democrat to Republican on Joe Biden, would you vote for him? Would you be doing this much work? You're only like people only did that just for the label. But if you look at policies and his record, the history, he's shittier than a lot of other Republicans. He's a Republican at heart.
that could be true. But look,
No, it literally is true.
we already went an hour talking on here. Let's move on to the next topic because this topic we can go on all day, and we could even continue this like in a off camera, like on a different episode. Let's move on to the next topic here. And all facts, by the way. I think that this was like the most understanding that we've had in this specific Republican v. Democrat. I agree with everything you guys are saying there. I just don't agree that the Republicans are all the way. But now that you put it the way you said it, like they're more transparent.
They're honest
Their
enemies.
shittiness, I agree with
Honest
that. So,
monsters. Not as in like honest, like, oh, they're good people. Fuck no. They're not good people.
definitely agreed. So let's move on to the next topic here. We got another old. I'm talking about politicians being like old and shitty. Let's talk about a quarterback that was old and shitty. He goes by the name of Thomas Edward Brady. He's 43 years of age and he just played another shit game last night. Brooks, man, is it for Tom Brady? Is he done?
Uh, no, I wouldn't say that.
Done?
I would say he's just looking real soft right now. He's looking real iffy. Just the fact that he keeps on throwing all these picks, he keeps on regressing. I think he's on pace to eclipse Jameis Winston's most touchdowns, but other than that, he's not like a dominant player like he once was. I mean, you're 43 years old. You're not going to be able to dominate like you used to. Look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees has 11 fractured ribs, collapsed lung, and he's, 42 years old? Yeah, Father Time always wins, and we're seeing that Tom Brady's Father Time is catching up to him.
So is Max Kellerman's cliff theory finally like shaping up? Is it finally happening? It's materializing this year?
I mean, it's definitely looking like it. I mean,
Famous cliff take.
we always say that, September, October, November, like Tom Brady always warms up, and then December, January, that's when he becomes a superstar, and that's when we see him become Superman. So until something happens in December, January, where he looks like complete doo doo, then I'm not gonna say, yeah, the cliff is there. He's falling off.
Tom Brady, bruh. He's looking like fucking like Pop Warner out there. He's looking like Albert Einstein High School junior varsity out there, man. Tom Brady is looking like like the fucking janitor put on pads. You know, it's embarrassing how badly Tom Brady is playing. I'll tell you this, man. I think Tom Brady not only done, I think that he's like physically done. I think he's mentally done. I feel like at this point he's starting to think like, fuck, man, like I can't take too many more of those hits. I don't want to break my ribs. I want to go run around with my family when I'm retired and not have a limp for the rest of my life. I think the NFL has kind of caught up to him in a sense where even they caught up to this year's Tampa Bay Bucks, where they came out to that quick start where they were like 3-1. Now you have a formula to beat this team, and you know what that formula is? You just rush them, bum rush them, send the fucking kitchen sink at Tom Brady, and he'll make a bad decision. He's gonna throw a pick. He's gonna get cracked. He's gonna underthrow. He's gonna overthrow. Tom Brady is looking like my grandpa out there. God rest my grandpa's soul. Is looking like my grandpa on the football field out there. I can play better than what Tom Brady's playing right now.
Do you think Tom Brady is going to leave money on the table and then retire after this first year?
No, no, of course not. Tom Brady he's a fierce competitor who doesn't shake hands with nobody when he loses. Sore fucking loser. Tom Brady, I feel like is going to play at least another year or two, and he's going to stink it up real bad. And if he stinks it up real bad next year, done. He's gonna hang it up. He's gonna go probably chill at home for like a year or two, and then try to take the Tony Romo route and go call games.
That's my thing, man. You got a beautiful wife at home, a couple of kisses you like to kiss on the mouth. Why not just go hang out with them? Crazy.
They say cooking Tom Brady. They say he likes to make out with his son. I find that hilarious.
How old are they?
Awkward video ever. And his son didn't even want to. Like his son knew what was gonna happen. He knew it was gonna happen, and he did not want to go like that, and he did. Come on, bro.
Hey, man, Tom Brady, he gets a lot of flack from me, bro. But you know what? He's an accomplished football player. He's a great guy. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Well, no, he's not a great guy. He's actually a shitty guy, but he's a great, like storied athlete. He's a decorated football player. But oh my God, dude, it's done for him, bro. And honestly, man, I've never like. I'm a fan of Tom Brady this year because he's not in New England anymore. I thought that this was like a good spot for him, but it's showing, bro. It's showing. Like his arms are real noodle-like these days, bro. Like he looks like he should be throwing a wiffle ball in his backyard, not a football ball on a professional football field.
Football.
He's like on life support. Just pull the plug, man. Let him breathe. Greetings from Swig. What's good, Darren? That's my yo. I haven't talked to Darren in a minute, man. Darren Rollins, the homie, like one of the OG Hear Me Out supporters, man. Definitely shout out to you for coming to the stream, man. And let us know, bro, if you think Tom Brady is done or not done. Because I think he's done. Brooks says not so fast. We'll see, man, because Tom Brady is really looking like noodle arm Tom Brady at this point, man, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And he has these flashes of brilliance, right? But when he plays bad, he plays so bad. It's looking like
what Frankie said, right? Like what Frankie C said, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad.
Yeah, Darren said Tom is donezo. He's definitely mega donezo.
He's past 40, right?
43,
44.
It's almost like being 75 years old and you're trying to run for office.
What would be a good football comparison for Tom Brady's performance right now?
Football and what comparison?
Like what would be like a good soccer comparison for what Tom Brady's performance?
He's like Ronaldo. He's like Ronaldo, like fat Ronaldo from Brazil, trying.
That's
to go
extreme.
To
no, that was really extreme. But also Ronaldo had a actual health condition he had a gland problem, and that's why he was like so overweight. Like it was a hormonal issue.
Then you know who? Then I would say David Beckham, because David Beckham in his prime for England was a beast. He was
like
a beast.
Everybody. It's just that. The football league is way smaller than like the global thing that is soccer.
Yeah.
Like, so there's like more focus on so many other players that, like the other ones, like the ones that have been around for a while, like it's very noticeable when they're like out. And there's like more opportunity for more people to be better than you because there's just so many people out there playing soccer. And so those players that used to be these ginormous stars go on to semi-retirement and start playing like on the MLS. And that's what happened to David Beckham. Like he went into semi-retirement and started playing in the United States on the MLS.
Play for LA Galaxy.
Yeah, that happens. So like
That came in to play for DC United, and he was like super big in England, and for the Premier
Wayne
League.
Rooney, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wayne Rooney was a dog when he was like a teenager, like a young adult, 20, when he was a beast. But then, it's just like everything else in sports, man. Like when you get to a certain point, your body has so much wear and tear. It's like a car, right? When your car reaches 230,000 miles, it doesn't matter if it's a Honda Accord. That shit is bound to break down.
For soccer, the prime is like 28 to like 31.
That sounds about
because
right.
you have to be in such good shape, and you're running so much more than any other sport too. So it makes sense that you can fall off a cliff so quick.
Non-stop.
Yeah, in football you do stop a lot, but it's like it's more bursts.
Yeah, this is burst of energy. Basketball, like you're going up and down the court, but then there's so many fouls called or like travel or
Timeouts
whatever.
and all that.
In football, it's like one play at a time too. So it's like in baseball, you chill on the base for like 10 minutes at a time sometimes.
Maybe like the best comparison would be like amateur wrestling or like rugby, because you're constantly battling on a mat, or like you're constantly running with the football in rugby or something like that.
Right. Well, shit. We'll go ahead and take it to the last topic of today's live stream. HMO live stream episode 10. I'm with the guys, man. BT, Franco. We out here chilling, talking some. We talked politics earlier. We talked some football, and now we're gonna talk about the Grammys. They just released a whole bunch of nominees. And drop a like in the video, man. If you're into pop culture, sports, politics, any of that stuff, drop a like in this video. We're streaming every Tuesday. You don't want to miss it. These streams been popping lately. We're talking to all you guys. It's one big family here, and we're gonna. Everyone was telling me I should do a Discord. I am going to make a Discord this week. I'll send you guys the link. We'll all be together. We could talk our shit. You guys want to promote your stuff that you got going on. Retweet or whatever. I'm gonna make a Discord. We could have some fun, have some conversations.
We're on at 11 people watching. We should have 11 likes at least.
Yeah, I want to see everybody hit the like button one time for the one time support. Your local creator. I would say donate $1 because now we got super chats. But if you guys are tight on money,
you know what we should do? We should do super chats for a shot. Every time someone donates, we take a shot.
I love a drink.
Yes, sir. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. I have to set that up for the next live stream. But for our last topic, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Grammys. And I'm going to talk about the one thing that stood out to me more than anything, Brooks. The Weeknd didn't get a single nominee, even though he had the biggest album of the entire year and was like dominating the charts. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. I'm looking at a New York Times article about it right now.
That's crazy. Give it to Ariana Grande, to I think Post Malone, and then a lot of people were starting to say like, yo, the Grammys are so rigged, man. They're so whack.
They've been rigged.
Beyond rigged. They give Hotline Bling, not a rap song, the best rap song of that year in 2016. Because what? Because Drake is half black, or what's up with that?
They gave the Carter 3 best album of the year.
Bro, wasn't Apple win a Grammy over J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar one year?
Who did they give it to over Kendrick and J. Cole?
Something like that, yeah.
No, who did they give it to though?
Macklemore.
Oh yeah, yo, that was BS. No, but I was joking about the Carter 3 thing. I think that probably was the best mainstream album that year.
Yeah, Macklemore was popping that year, but a lot of his music wasn't even rap though. It was like some of it was pop, most of it was pop. Some like had like R&B vibes even. Like I don't know, man. I think the Grammys are kind of whack, bro. And Drake even said it, you don't need to have a Grammy to be solidified and validated as an artist. As long
You
as you
don't,
have,
yeah.
if you can sell out an arena with 20,000, 30,000 people and you got the entire arena singing your music where you're like, da da da, give the mic to these guys and they just sing your
Look,
lyrics for you, it's over.
the best music is the one that never feels like it goes old. Timeless
Yeah,
music.
Time
timeless.
music, bro.
Timeless music. I feel like Denzel Curry is a kind of guy that I
Yeah.
feel like made a lot of timeless music, and he said it the other day. He feels like he's one of the most influential artists of his generation. And he has a case for that because he influenced XXX Tentacion, and XXX influenced a bunch of other people. So you got to trace that back to him, and that man doesn't even get a look from the Grammys.
It's
It,
too like
too watered.
how would you say you measure quality of music?
Shit, I personally measure quality of music on a couple of things. If it's mainstream, we're looking at numbers, of course.
Well,
We're
that's
looking,
just popularity.
but in terms of for me, music, like if we're looking at what do I use to measure music, I look at the energy of the music, the like who is it influencing, like who's trying to bite off of the sound and stuff like that. It's a whole bunch of things that go into what makes a good song, but I feel like people listen to music for different reasons, and we were talking about that with Frankie Steves. I listen to music looking for energy, you know what I mean? But some people want to hear lyrics, some people want to hear bars. Like when I listen to hip hop, I want to hear something. I probably would lean more towards something catchy and like than something that's like, holy shit, like you know what I mean? Like he just broke me down like a quadruple entendre, like with like all types of rhyme
Quadruple
schemes.
entendre.
Like
So
which dope. That kind of music is not whack. It's super dope. Like and some people did it very well. Like Big L did it great. Lupe Fiasco did it great. Fucking like we said, Denzel
there's a
Curry.
lot of legends out
Joey
there in
Badass,
history.
Joey Badass does that great shit. Even Tory Lanez got. I know we were saying fuck Tory Lanez, but homie had bars, like actual bars. And then then you got the little Uzis and the Playboy Cardis and that kind. And those are the guys that bring out that new school energy. And I feel like I lean towards that, like more like newish sounding kind of stuff.
So Darren Rowland says Trevor Noah hosting I hear in 2021.
For the Grammys, I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
F
surprised.
that guy. I don't like Trevor Noah. He touts a lot of CIA talking points when he gets into the political realm.
Uh-oh.
But aside from that, how do you feel about Trevor Noah?
I mean, I don't watch enough Trevor Noah to like really have like a solid opinion on the guy, but I mean, I like his shows sometimes. Like when he
Got
has
the story
this
for sure.
Klepper guy, like that shit is funny when he goes to the Trump rallies. But outside of that, I think Trevor Noah, honestly, bro, I think he's kind of corny. Like his jokes, like his demeanor is kind of corny. Like I don't like him as much as I like Stephen Colbert and the other guy, Jon Stewart. Like they were funnier to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got a cool story, but I don't know if he's like the leading guy in Hollywood or in the talk show host space. But
Yeah,
a lot of
he's
these
a
talk show
like
hosts,
good choice for Grammys.
these multimillionaire talk show hosts, they're all like they all repeat a lot of CIA talking points, but we don't have to go into that right now since we're talking about music. But
yeah.
imagine Grammys hosted by Eric Andre. Would you like that?
That'd be hilarious.
Eric Andre, bro.
Yeah.
Eric Andre would be fucking like peeing on stage, bro. I can't even imagine like the kind of like antics this guy would come to.
Would they let
Like
him? They definitely look. It would be good for ratings, right? Don't you think a lot of people would show up to watch Eric Andre host the Grammys?
maybe, I mean, but I don't think Eric Andre would even accept a job like that because they wouldn't let him be himself. That's why they wanted Kevin Hart to apologize for like some homophobic tweets from like 2009. Like
What
if
the
they're making
fuck?
that, if they're making, and Kevin Hart said, you know what, fuck that. I'm not apologizing for something I already addressed and I apologized for already just to host the Grammys, or I think this might have been the Oscars.
Yo, did you guys see his comedy special?
It had to have been the Oscars. His what special?
He just put out a comedy special.
Hmm.
Who
Like,
kept
yeah, he staged or he filmed the comedy special in the
going
like
to the living room?
the basement, yeah, the basement of his house or something like that, and he just made like a bunch of COVID jokes. He called the COVID the vid.
Up.
Yeah, it was no, I couldn't get through like 20 minutes of it. It was really bad.
Damn, it was that bad.
Yeah,
What did you not like about it?
it just
Did it feel forced?
it felt forced, and he's like at that point now where like he made it like one of his first jokes was like, we're celebrities and we thought that we were better than like regular people, and now people are calling us weirdos for how we do things and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, you guys are weirdos. Like we used to celebrate you and like worship you guys, and like now we know you're fucking monsters. And like what's there to
Yeah.
what's there to admire or what's there to worship about you when you
I am
do all
so
these
glad
weird
that
things?
that's happening now, dude. I'm glad that like these social media influencers, because let's be honest, like a lot of these guys are comedians, whatever, celebrities, but now in 2020, they're social media influencers because they want to influence the general public's opinion on everything. Like Kevin Hart is one of those people. And honestly, it's not funny anymore. That's why I like Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle is a comedian through and through. Kevin Hart is he's an influencer. He's
He's an
like
actor, isn't he? First and foremost, he's an actor.
yeah.
Part-time actor and shit.
But look, Kevin Hart's main gig is being a comedian, but to me, it's not genuine humor. It's like very forced, very you know what I mean, like borderline, almost like, bro, that's fucked up, like not offensive in a funny way, like shock value laugh, but
Or he's
it's
like,
where
you're
you look
trying too hard to shock people, but it just comes off
Yeah.
weird and cringy.
exactly. That's spot on. That's
I'll
spot
say
on.
this about Kevin Hart though. The first few specials he had, really funny. He has some good stuff the first few specials, but then everything else has been
On
like
fire.
Do people know that Kevin Hart was in The 40-Year-Old Virgin?
yeah.
When he was a newbie, and he was funny back then. And Darren is saying Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac is
Bernie Mac
hilarious,
is
bro.
lit.
Hilarious. R.I.P.
Bro, his jokes like age really bad, but they're still so fucking funny when you just accept the fact that they're like late 90s, early 2000 takes. Like the dude's hilarious.
Yeah, like for like actual humor. Like sometimes Cat Williams was like that, but he was also a bit forced. You know what I mean? With the whole like, I want to be like a pimp so bad. You know what I mean? Like short.
He
with the
did try
perm.
too hard with the pimp appearance and all that.
No,
Work.
but he made it work though. He made it work, I would say.
He did. No, he definitely made it work. Like, and he made some classic, characters like on Friday and like other films that he was in.
That is Darren. That baby's not Darren. That baby is Slavic. That's a baby from the Caucasus, from the mountains of Caucasus.
Yeah.
Viking.
Viking baby, a Slavic baby.
Hey man, but I think we can go ahead and leave it at that, man. Today was an awesome show. HMO live stream episode 10. 10 of them, this many. We're gonna be back next week for episode 11. There's no telling. 2020 is bringing us all types of shit every week. So do not miss next week's live stream, because we already know it's going to be crazy. All the topics are going to be crazy. And come and join this live chat. I see 7 people in the chat. Everybody go drop a like. Tune into next week's live stream. And stay tuned for the Discord. We're going to go ahead and drop that for you guys. This week, follow us on Twitter, HMO Ent. That's HMOENT. We'll drop the Discord there. You'll find all of us there. You'll find myself. You'll find Franco. You'll find Brooks. You'll find Brendoza. You'll find everybody that's associated with Hear Me Out under the Hear Me Out umbrella. That's including Dull Excitement. That's including guys like OG Skywalker. Everybody that's always showing love, falling under that HMO umbrella. You'll see us there. So, thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. And any final words you guys want to leave with the people?
We
First
got
and foremost.
any special guests coming next week? Guess we'll talk about that.
Watch
So
out Frankie Steve's interview.
yeah, Frankie Steve's coming Tuesday, and George Jarjour wants to join the podcast again. He's a big sports head out of Seattle.
For
He's
sure.
been doing his thing lately. Been killing it with his podcast. He wants to join us, so we're gonna definitely talk with him and try to set something up. And outside of that, we're not gonna tell you guys too much. We'll keep you guys posted. You guys just gotta stay tuned and see what comes next.
I want to say this before we go. Happy early Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy
Yeah,
early.
happy early Thanksgiving.
And
Um,
before I know
Guys.
we're off the Grammy stuff, but I also want to give a shout out to Chloe X Haley. Two, they're not twins, but they're like sisters, and they're super talented R&B singers. And D Smoke, I'm a big fan of his. He's out from Cali, like the same city, Compton, as Kendrick Lamar, my favorite rapper. So congrats to them for getting some Grammy nominations. Grammys aren't that big, but when you get a nomination, that's huge.
one thing I
Yeah,
will
definitely.
say about Thanksgiving is be conscious and thankful about whose land we are in, and that is the Native Americans, which a lot of people don't really think about. Be thankful for them for taking care of this land for so many years, so many centuries, and to be conscious about what happened in history, which is not heavily talked about in school a lot.
And what they're still going through nowadays.
Hmm.
Yeah, bro. I think they're like the most hit people as far as COVID goes,
Hmm.
and people aren't even talking about that enough. So, let's pay some respect for sure.
Pay some respect to them, and
And
let's for
Christopher Columbus too, and
once for
colonialism
all, let's get this myth out of our heads that Christopher Columbus found this country. It's bullshit. He did not find this country. This country was found already long before his ass ever stepped foot here. But
For sure.
happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We love you guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Lots to be thankful for, as Darren said. And I was telling my dad this earlier today. There's a lot of things that irritate, or not a lot of things, but when things irritate me, it's easier to think the things that make me happy and the things that there are to be thankful for, rather than stressing over one or two small things that may annoy you or may irritate you. If it helps, write it down and look at it. Write it down at the things that you're thankful for. Write down the things that you look forward to achieving or obtaining and shit like this. Think more about what there is to be thankful for, rather than fuck, like this is really getting on my nerves.
Yeah, here
It could be worse.
the easiest thing to do is before you go to sleep, remember to think about 3 things that you're thankful for from that day. On top of what Pedro said about writing things down. Those are all great exercises.
At least 3 every single day, and I promise you, you'll be able to put things a lot more into perspective. That's a good.
journals, guys. But thank you guys for tuning into this HMO live stream. We're on episode 10. We are out. Thank you guys, especially if you got to the end.
Salute.
Bang.